Hello everyone. So let's get on to covering the species that were in news in the month of January. And the first one is great adjutant stork. So great adjutant stork is its name. It is also called Hargilla bone swallower, but these names are not important. Only the great adjutant would suffice. And context is not important, just there are certain boring details that we are to memorize. And number one is this, that IUCN red list status is the endangered one. And Wildlife Protection Act 1972, they are under Schedule 4. And basically this is how it looks. This is the great adjutant. And where are they found? Very, very important. In Assam and Bihar and in Cambodia. So they are not very widely distributed. In fact, they are just found in Assam and slight patches of the Bihar as well as in the Cambodia. So are they found only in India? Absolutely not, because they are found in Cambodia as well. Are they found in Western Ghats or in Central India? No, they are found in just Assam and Bihar. That's it. And this is it. And there's just one more detail, that in India 8 species of these residential storks are found, and great adjutant is one of them. Greater adjutant, naam kyun galat pronounce karna, so it's greater adjutant is one of them. So that's it. Once they were abundantly distributed in Southeast Asia, but now they are just restricted to the small pockets of Assam and Bihar. IUCN status is endangered. Please memorize. Wildlife Protection Act 1972 Schedule 4. Please memorize. And threats are habitat loss, poaching, poisoning, cutting down of nesting trees. Very, very important, because the trees that they make their home, they are not like common trees. They are different ones, but because they are just being cut, so they find it difficult to make their nest. So that's how it is. We are done with species number 1. Second is the white rhino, and rhinos will be covering in a separate video, because all the species and varieties of rhinos are to be covered in its entirety. Next is the extraocular vision. Extraocular vision, what is it? In fact, this too can be asked, what is extraocular vision? So it's the ability to see without eyes. Now this is how it is. Nature has all sort of organisms. So there are certain organisms that can see things without having eyes. So how can they see it? Through the photoreceptor cells. Photo means light and receptor means receiving the light. So basically they have the light sensing cells that cover their entire body, and that's how they can see things. For the first time, researchers have shown that species of brittle stars. So now already there is the sea urchin species that have this extraocular vision, but right now researchers have shown that even a brittle star, a species, it too can have this vision, this ability to see things without eyes. So that's how it is. And where are they found? They are found in the coral reefs of the Caribbean Sea. And sea urchin is the first species, and these two are the ones that can see without eyes through the photoreceptor cell, and we just call it extraocular vision. So that's it. Let's move on to the third species, which is a giant straight-tusked elephant. Not very important, but just to be at the safer side, cover it. Let's cover it. So context is not so important, and either way it's the extinct now. So basically it's an elephant, big one, a straight-tusked elephant. This is how it looks. There is a study in the Science that has stated better understanding about this giant straight-tusked elephant. So basically some 800,000 years ago, there was one species of elephant, but they migrated out of the Africa and they spread across Europe and Asia. And we know this is how the evolution happened, just because the geography got changed, so they also started having their distinct features, and that's they got evolved into different varieties. But basically they were the one especially found in Africa initially, but some 800,000 years ago they got migrated and they got spread to Europe and Asia. And they are, what are these species? Now the difficult ones, it's the Paleoloxodon anticus. The Paleoloxodon word would be the same, and I really am not gonna say it again and again because it's really difficult to pronounce. But the anticus one was in Europe, the Namadicus was one in India, the Nomani was in Japan. So I do not think this would be asked, but again anything can be asked, so just try to mug it up. Anticus was in Europe, Namadicus was in India, Nomani was in Japan, and they are all extinct now. So that's it. We are done with this as well. So let's get on to the next. It's a Drosophila small fruit fly. So basically it's the fruit fly, but why exactly we are studying it? Because it's very important to understand these fruit flies because of their having a special relationship with the human, and it's important for scientists to study it, and that's why scientists are researching onto these flies from past 100 years, because they might be into some usage for human being per se. But let's not deviate. Why we are talking about this small fruit fly now? Because for the first time in Pune, especially in Maharashtra, the 5th global edition of the Drosophila conference was held. It was the 5th one, but the first time held in India. And what are the unique features of this Drosophila small fruit fly? The density of genes per chromosome in them is higher than the even human beings. So that's their unique feature, that in one chromosome they are having way more genes than any human beings are having. So that's how it is. It's not important, really not important, but just for the sake of covering, we have to cover it, and that's it. So basically this conference aims to promote interaction of Drosophila researchers in the Asia Pacific region with their peers in the rest of the world. Not important. Let's get on to this difficult one. Ophiuchthus Kailash Chandrai. So Kailash Chandra is an Indian name because it's been named after Dr. Kailash Chandra, the director of the Zoological Survey of India. And what exactly is it? As we can see right here in the photo, it's a snake eel species. So if a question comes, Ophiuchthus Kailash Chandrai was in news, what is it? It's a new species of eel. And in 2019, there were 2 new species that were discovered by the JSI. So it's the 3rd one in the 2-year period. So what were those in 2019? They were the Gymnothorax एंडेमेनेसिस एंड जिम्नोथोरैक्स स्मिथी. सो पूछ सकते हैं आप, कुछ भी पूछ सकते हैं, तो ये भी याद कर लें. जिम्नोथोरैक्स एंडेमेनेसिस एंड जिम्नोथोरैक्स स्मिथी, दे वर व्हाट? दे वर द eel species, and that's it. Where are they found? They are found in the Bay of Bengal, and it's the 8th species of the same very genus found in the Indian coast. So we know there is in a hierarchy of animal kingdom, we are something called species, then genus, then family, and so on. But under this genus, we are having this 8th species. So not very important, but at max this can be asked. Ophiuchthus Kailash Chandrai is what? It's a new snake eel species. So that's it. So we are done with 3 or 4, maybe 5, 6 species, and I am having paucity of time today, so really I'm sorry for going so fast. And if you haven't gotten over any of the species, do let me know in the comment section. We'll try to cover that once again, and either way PDF is available to be downloaded for free in our Telegram channel, the link of which I'll be putting right there in the description box. So do download the PDF and join the channel for further UPSC related free material. That's it. So we are done. Thank you so much for watching, and goodbye.